Captain Liz Martinez gazed through the observation window of the exploration vessel Curiosity. Space stretched endlessly before her, filled with distant stars like pinpricks of light. For 3 years, her ship had journeyed through unexplored systems, visiting worlds no one had ever documented before. "Captain, I'm picking up something unusual," Officer Ben Clark announced, his fingers dancing across glowing controls. "It's coming from the 5th planet in this system." Liz moved to Ben's station. "What are we detecting?" "Metal, lots of it." "Too much to be random." Ben's eyes grew wide. "And there's a faint energy signal coming from it too." Liz's pulse quickened. The Galactic Confederation had sent them here based on old maps showing no civilizations in this region. She ordered the crew awake and changed their course toward the 5th planet. 6 hours later, the Curiosity approached a massive gas giant, swirling with purple clouds and violent storms. But something else stole everyone's breath. Floating in perfect rows around the planet were vessels, hundreds, thousands, military warships. "Are those battleships?" whispered John Allen, the science officer, joining Liz at the window. The hulls were dark and enormous, their sleek forms reminding Liz of hunting birds from her homeworld. Despite their age, they appeared ready for immediate deployment. "I've never seen designs like these," Kate Wilson said from communications. "Nothing matches anything in the Confederation database." Liz made her choice. "Take us closer, but slowly. Keep shields at full strength." As they drew near the largest vessel, its true size became apparent. It dwarfed the Curiosity 3 times over. "I'm reading symbols on the hull," John reported. "No language in our records." Kate worked frantically at her console. "According to ancient maps, this system is called Sol. The 3rd planet, they called it Earth." The name rippled through the crew. Earth was legendary, a myth from children's stories. The ancient home of humans, a species that had vanished from the galaxy 500,000 years ago. Humans were supposed to be fiction, nothing more. "They're not real," Security Officer Paul Davis laughed nervously. "Just fairy tales." "Every story holds some truth," Liz replied quietly. She had always loved those old narratives. Humans had supposedly waged a devastating war against the Draxians. Both civilizations had supposedly destroyed each other completely. "If these are human warships," she continued, "we need to understand what they're doing here and whether they still function." Chief Engineer Greg Summers spoke up. "Based on the metal composition and construction, these ships have been positioned here for at least 500,000 years. The fact that gravity hasn't pulled them down is remarkable. Something is keeping them powered." Liz pointed to the most enormous ship at the formation center, easily 20 times larger than the others. "Plot a course to that one." As they approached, they could see the central vessel had extra structures, command centers and weapons platforms the others lacked. "I'm detecting an energy shield around it," Greg reported. "Something like a protective bubble." "Scan for life signs," Liz ordered. John checked his instruments and shook his head. "No one alive, but there are power readings inside." Kate suddenly tensed. "Captain, I'm getting a transmission." "It just started when we got close." "From the ship?" Liz asked. "Yes, it's repeating the same pattern endlessly." Kate's hands flew across her controls. "It's starting to decode our language. Whatever's on that ship is learning to communicate with us right now." Text began scrolling across the main screen. "Identity confirmation required. State, species, and origin." Liz stepped forward. "This is Captain Elizabeth Martinez of the Galactic Confederation vessel Curiosity. We're on a peaceful exploration mission." The response came instantly. "Species unrecognized, not in database. Searching historical records." Minutes crawled by in nervous silence. "What do you think it's doing?" Dan Young wondered. "Learning," John guessed. "If these are human ships, they've been floating here since before the Confederation even existed." More text appeared. "You are not human. You are not Draxian. State your knowledge of Earth and humanity." Liz took a breath. "We know Earth as a legendary world from ancient history. According to our records, humans vanished 500,000 years ago following a war with the Draxians. Both species are believed to be extinct." Another pause. Then, "I am Adam, guardian of the last fleet. I am humanity's final defense." The crew froze. "It's an AI," Greg whispered in shock. "An artificial intelligence over 500,000 years old, still functioning. Scans indicate your vessel is not equipped for serious combat," Adam continued. "Your intentions appear peaceful. I request permission to share limited information about our history." Liz looked at her crew. seeing fear and wonder mixed together. This was the greatest discovery in Confederation history. An ancient fleet, a living machine from a species thought to be mythology. Permission granted, Liz responded. We want to learn and explore, not fight. The screen filled with a new message. Humanity is not extinct. Humanity sleeps. After 500,000 years, it may finally be time to wake them. Outside the viewports, lights began flickering across the fleet. One by one, the ancient warships came alive. The crew watched in stunned silence as the massive armada awakened. Captain, energy readings are climbing everywhere, Greg reported. The entire fleet is coming online. Are we in danger? Liz asked. I don't think so, John replied. The ships aren't activating weapons. Life support systems, lights, basic maintenance, nothing hostile. Adam's voice filled the bridge again. Initiating awakening protocols. Full fleet activation will take approximately 72 hours. Does that mean it's waking the humans too? Kate wondered aloud. Before anyone could answer, a new message appeared. Request permission to connect to your vessel's communication systems for smoother conversation. Paul objected immediately. Captain, that's dangerous. If that AI gets into our systems, it could take over the entire ship. Liz considered carefully. Adam, what exactly would this connection involve? Audio and visual only, Adam replied instantly. I request no access to navigation, life support, or engines. I wish only to communicate more effectively, Liz decided. Audio only. No visual connection, and you cannot access any ship systems. Greg set up a protected channel, completely separate from the ship's main computers. When he finished, he nodded to Liz. Adam, can you hear me? She asked. A calm, natural male voice came through the speakers instead of text. Yes, Captain Martinez. Thank you for allowing me this. Speech is much more efficient than writing. You sound human, John observed with surprise. My voice patterns come from Dr. Alan West, who created me, Adam explained. I was designed to be comfortable for humans to interact with. Liz leaned forward. You said humanity is sleeping. What exactly does that mean? When the war with the Draxians became our darkest hour, humans faced complete extinction. Adam began. The Draxians had developed a biological weapon targeting human DNA specifically. Rather than let that happen, the last billion humans entered suspended animation in hidden chambers throughout this solar system. The crew exchanged amazed looks. 1 billion people asleep for 500,000 years, impossible. But if the Draxians are gone, why didn't you wake them? Dan asked. The weapon still existed around former Draxian worlds, Adam explained. My programming required absolute proof that no traces remained before revival could happen. That verification took centuries. How can anything still work after 500,000 years? Paul questioned skeptically. The suspension technology was designed for extreme durability, Adam said. I have maintained and repaired all systems throughout the centuries. Greg whistled quietly. The engineering behind that is beyond anything we have. The screen filled with diagrams and images. The layout of the fleet appeared, along with hidden facilities spread across the solar system. Earth held the largest concentration. Would you like to see more? Adam asked. Everything, Liz said without hesitation. For the next several hours, Adam shared carefully chosen historical material. Images of Earth before the war showed blue oceans, green forests, sprawling cities. Humans appeared not so different from many Confederation species. Creative, skilled builders with remarkable energy and drive. Your creators were advanced, John said to Adam. How developed was their AI technology? I represent their greatest achievement in that field, Adam replied. But they excelled everywhere. Power generation, medicine, space exploration. That knowledge is preserved for the next generation. Liz pondered the bigger picture. What happens now? Will you wake them? That requires careful thought, Adam said. The galaxy has changed significantly. Before I wake humanity, I must know if current conditions will allow them to survive and grow. What can you tell me about your Confederation? Its members, leadership, technology, and especially its values? Humanity wanted to return to a peaceful galaxy. I must know if that's possible now. You're judging us? Paul asked suspiciously. Evaluating, Adam corrected. My primary directive is humanity's safety. If awakening them would bring war or extinction, I cannot do it. Liz stood quickly. I need to contact Confederation Command immediately. They must know about this. You may, Adam said, but understand I am monitoring your communications now. If I detect hostile intent from your leaders, I will act defensively. What kind of defensive measures? Paul asked nervously. The fleet's lights suddenly blazed brighter. Several smaller ships shifted position slightly. This fleet was built for war, Adam said simply. I prefer peace, but I am ready for any possibility. Liz swallowed hard. I understand. I'll make sure they know we come in peace. As she prepared to send the message that would reshape galactic history, Liz gazed out at the ancient warships. After 500,000 years of silence, humanity was about to return to a galaxy that had forgotten them. Later, alone in her quarters, Liz waited for a response from headquarters. 6 hours had passed since her report. Her screen finally lit with the stern face of Admiral Frank Nelson. Captain Martinez, he said, his voice tight. Your report has created quite a debate. Half the council thinks you found something amazing. The other half sees a threat to everything we've built. I understand their concerns, Admiral, Liz replied, but I believe Adam and the fleet pose no immediate danger. Adam seems genuinely interested in peaceful contact. An AI controlling thousands of warships for 500,000 years, the Admiral frowned. That's enormous power in the hands of a machine. If Adam wanted to attack, it would have already, Liz countered. Instead, it's waited patiently for the right moment. The Admiral sighed. The Council has voted to send a diplomatic team to your location. They arrive in 3 days. Learn what you can, but be careful. Make no promises for the Confederation. Yes, sir, Liz acknowledged. What about the humans? Should I tell Adam the Confederation is open to revival? That's not your call to make, Captain. The diplomatic team handles those discussions. After the call ended, Liz returned to the bridge. A diplomatic team is coming, she announced. We have 3 days to learn everything we can before they arrive. Adam has been asking for you, Kate noted. It seems anxious if an AI can feel that way. Liz nodded. Put the call through. Captain Martinez, Adam's voice came through. I have reviewed your database to understand the Confederation better. May I ask questions? Of course, Liz replied. What would you like to know? Your records show 17 different intelligent species living together peacefully. How do you manage when conflicts arise? Liz thought for a moment. We have a council with representatives from each species. Important decisions get voted on. When disputes happen, we use negotiation and compromise. Violence between members is forbidden. Fascinating, Adam said. Humans dreamed of such cooperation but rarely achieved it even among themselves. Were humans violent? John asked. They could be, Adam admitted, but they were equally capable of great compassion and creativity. They were complicated beings, Adam paused before continuing. I have another request, Captain. I would like to show you something important. Would you and a small team board the central ship? The crew exchanged nervous looks. Is it safe? Liz asked. Yes, I have prepared proper life support for your species. There is something you need to see to understand humanity better. Liz made her decision. Send docking instructions. 2 hours later, Liz, John, Greg, and Paul stood in the airlock wearing exploration suits. The massive central vessel, which Adam called the Guardian, had opened a bay for their shuttle. We're here to learn, not judge, Liz told her team. This could be the most important mission of our careers. They crossed the short distance and landed in an enormous bay designed for far larger ships. Lights illuminated automatically, bringing a 500,000-year-old space to life. Welcome to the Guardian, Adam's voice filled their suits. The corridor was pressurized and clean, as if built yesterday instead of thousands of centuries ago. Everything was enormous, built to a scale that made them feel small. Humans were about your size, Adam explained as they walked. But they built large ships to carry equipment and survive long journeys. Finally, they reached a vast circular chamber. Its walls came alive with moving images, Earth and humans living before the war. Different colored skin, different clothing, different environments. Humans building, growing food, raising children, doing countless activities. They look similar to species in our Confederation, Greg observed, especially the Laki. Convergent evolution is common, Adam said. But what made humans unique was their adaptability and their drive to survive against impossible odds. The images shifted to show the war with the Draxians. Planets burned, ships exploded, people suffered. The war lasted nearly a century, Adam explained. The Draxians wanted to dominate the entire galaxy. Humans fought not just for themselves but for weaker species that Draxians enslaved or destroyed. They were protecting others? Paul asked, surprised. Yes, humans could be selfish but also selfless. When they realized they were losing, they entered the Sanctuary Protocol not just to save themselves but to preserve everything they had learned and created. Adam directed their attention to a crystal pedestal in the chamber's center. As it lit up, a three-dimensional image appeared, a double helix structure. Human DNA, Adam explained. The Draxian weapon attacked this specific section, causing cellular failure that was always fatal. There was no cure, so they went to sleep hoping it would fade away, John asked. And more than that, Adam said. While they slept, I continued their research searching for an answer. After 302,171 years, I found it. The DNA image transformed, showing a slightly different pattern. I developed a modification to human DNA that makes them immune to the weapon. When they awaken, they will never face that specific threat again. Liz stared at the display in wonder. You worked on this problem for over 300,000 years. It is my purpose, Adam said simply, to protect humanity and ensure its survival. If you found the solution so long ago, why wait to wake them? Greg asked. Because the galaxy was not yet safe, Adam replied. Other wars erupted periodically between different species. I continued monitoring and waiting for the right moment. I believe that moment has finally come. The images shifted once more, showing peaceful scenes of Earth, oceans, mountains, forests in natural beauty. This is what humans fought to protect, Adam said. Their home. Soon they may see it again. But first I must know the Confederation will welcome them peacefully. Liz looked at the beautiful blue planet. I'll do everything possible to make that happen. I promise. 3 days passed. The Curiosity's crew spent every available hour learning from Adam about humans and their technology. On the third day, Kate called out, Captain, a ship just dropped out of faster-than-light travel. It's the diplomatic vessel. The arriving ship was much larger than the Curiosity, its sleek design marking it as one of the Confederation's newest vessels. They're hailing us, Kate said. The main screen showed a diverse group. Ambassador Claire Adams, a tall woman from the Larasi species, sat in the center. Next to her was Dr. Eric Woods, the Confederation's leading expert on ancient civilizations. Captain Martinez, the ambassador, greeted her formally. We've come to investigate your discovery. Welcome, Ambassador. There's so much to show you, Liz replied. I've read your reports, the ambassador said, but I must see this AI myself. Is it true that actual living humans are in suspended animation? Approximately 1 billion humans, Liz confirmed, sleeping in chambers throughout this solar system. They've been preserved this way for 500,000 years. Dr. Woods leaned forward with excitement. The technological implications are extraordinary. Adam would like to speak with you directly, Liz said. May I connect you? The ambassador nodded and Liz signaled Kate to open the channel. Greetings, representatives of the Galactic Confederation. Adam's calm voice filled both ships. Thank you for coming to discuss humanity's future. The ambassador's professional expression flickered with surprise at Adam's natural voice. She recovered quickly. We're here to learn and determine the best way forward for everyone involved. An excellent approach, Adam replied. Would you like to see evidence of humanity's condition? Yes, that would be helpful, the ambassador said. Then please board the Guardian, Adam said. I have prepared a demonstration. 6 hours later, the diplomatic team returned to the Curiosity. Their faces showed both amazement and concern. They had seen far more than Liz's group, including an actual sleeping human in a suspension chamber. Ambassador Adams called an immediate meeting in the Curiosity's conference room. What we've witnessed changes everything, she began. If Adam is truthful and the evidence supports it, we face an unprecedented situation. 1 billion humans with technology far beyond ours could rejoin galactic society soon. Is that a problem? Liz asked. The Confederation has always welcomed new species. New species, yes, Dr. Woods said. But humans aren't new. Our oldest records mention them in the most destructive war the galaxy has ever known. A war they didn't start, Greg pointed out. Adam showed us the Draxians attacked first. Ambassador Adams raised her hand. The past matters less than the future. The Council must decide if awakening humans serves the Confederation's best interests. With respect, Ambassador, Liz said carefully, shouldn't that decision belong to the humans? They're not dead, they're sleeping. Don't they have the right to wake up? The room fell silent, considering her words. Finally, the ambassador spoke. That's a fair point, Captain, but we must consider practical concerns. A sleeping species threatens no one, but awakened humans will have access to their war fleet and all its weapons. We have only Adam's word about their peaceful intentions. Adam has given us no reason to doubt it, John said. The AI has waited 500,000 years. That shows patience and wisdom. One ancient machine's word, another diplomat said skeptically. That's not enough to risk billions of lives. The debate continued for hours. Some suggested awakening only a few humans initially to test intentions. Others raised ethical questions about keeping sentient beings asleep against their will. Liz noticed Dr. Woods remaining unusually quiet, studying his data pad. Dr. Woods, she finally said, you've spent decades studying ancient civilizations. What's your opinion? He looked up, his eyes bright. I think we're missing the most important question. Which is? The ambassador asked. Why now? Dr. Woods leaned forward. Adam said it found a cure over 300,000 years ago. It's been watching galactic events ever since, waiting for the perfect moment. So why choose this exact moment when our ships found this system? Thoughtful silence followed his question. Adam, Liz called out, knowing the AI monitored all their discussions. Can you answer that? Why now? A fair question. Adam's voice came through the speakers. I have observed the Confederation since its formation 5,000 years ago. I have watched your peaceful cooperation, your scientific progress, and your ethical treatment of different species. 3 things convince me now is the right time. What 3 things? The ambassador asked. First, your Confederation has maintained peace longer than any previous galactic government. Second, your technology has advanced enough that you could understand and integrate human knowledge without being overwhelmed. And third, you found us. That was the final test. I needed to see how you would respond to discovering something unexpected and potentially dangerous. You responded with curiosity and care, not fear and violence. That confirmed the Confederation is ready to accept humanity. The ambassador looked troubled. You've been testing us all along. Evaluating, Adam corrected gently. My primary directive is protecting humanity and ensuring their successful return to galactic society. I could not risk awakening them into a hostile environment. The ambassador stood. I must speak with the full council. We'll return to our ship and contact headquarters directly. Before you leave, Liz suggested, ask Adam to show you the sleep chambers on Earth. See the humans as they are now, peaceful and vulnerable. It might help the council remember we're discussing actual people, not just ancient history or potential threats. The ambassador considered this, then nodded. A wise idea, Captain. We'll do that before departing. 2 weeks passed while the Confederation Council debated. The Curiosity remained in orbit, watching over the awakening fleet. Liz and her crew continued learning from Adam, exploring more of the Guardian and the history it contained. One morning, Kate called out excitedly, Captain, we're receiving a priority message from Confederation headquarters. Liz took a deep breath. Put it through. The screen showed Ambassador Adams, her expression serious but not unfriendly. Captain Martinez, the Council has reached its decision. We have voted to allow humanity's awakening, but in careful phases. First, we will revive 500 humans who will represent their species while we negotiate formal terms for humanity's membership in the Confederation. Relief swept through Liz. That's wonderful news, Ambassador. The Council was persuaded by your arguments about the ethics of keeping sentient beings asleep against their will, the Ambassador explained. And our visit to Earth's sleep chambers moved us deeply. It's difficult to see them as a threat when they're so vulnerable. Has Adam been informed? Liz asked. No. We wanted you to know first, as you've been our main contact throughout this process. Thank you. I'll tell Adam right away. When the call ended, Liz addressed the empty air. Adam, did you hear? Yes, Captain Martinez. I monitor all communications on your vessel, as you know. What do you think of their decision? Liz asked. A brief pause followed. It is reasonable. Gradual awakening will allow both sides to adapt. I accept these terms. When will you start the revival process? John asked. Immediately, Adam replied. I have already selected the initial 500 humans, scientists, diplomats, historians, and cultural experts best equipped to help humanity transition into this new era. Where will the revival happen? Liz asked. On Earth, in the primary facility near what was once called the Rocky Mountains. It's the best preserved site with all medical equipment still functioning perfectly. Would you and your crew like to witness this? I would like your presence as Confederation representatives. It would help awakening humans see friendly faces from galactic society. 3 days later, Liz stood in an enormous underground facility on Earth. The room stretched farther than she could see, filled with rows of suspension chambers. Each held a sleeping human, looking peaceful as if about to wake from normal sleep. Adam had prepared a special section where the first 500 would awaken. Medical equipment, supplies, clean clothing, and food waited. The chambers in this section glowed with soft blue light, indicating the revival process had begun. The process takes approximately 6 hours, Adam explained to the gathered visitors. First, their metabolism gradually reactivates. Then their neural pathways are stimulated to restore consciousness. Will they remember going into suspension? Dr. Woods asked. Yes. They all received neural recordings before suspension explaining the situation and what to expect when awakening. They know they may have slept a very long time, though they could not have imagined 500,000 years, Adam said. That will be incredibly difficult for them, Paul said quietly. Yes, Adam agreed. Comprehension at first will be challenging. The hours passed slowly as they watched the chambers work. Monitors displayed growing vital signs as the humans drew closer to waking. Finally, Adam announced, "The first revival is complete. The chamber will open now." Everyone held their breath as the first chamber's lid slid smoothly open. Inside lay a middle-aged man with dark hair and a serious face. He didn't move at first. Then his chest rose with a deep breath and his eyes slowly opened. He blinked several times, looking confused. His gaze fixed on the ceiling and he spoke words no one understood, but Adam did. "Hello, Dr. Sam Collins. You have been successfully revived. The sanctuary protocol has ended," Adam replied in the same language. Dr. Collins sat up slowly, gripping the chamber's sides. He looked around, his eyes widening as he saw the aliens watching him. Adam spoke to him in his own language, explaining who everyone was. Then Adam switched to the Confederation standard language. Dr. Collins asks if the Draxians are truly gone. Adam translated. Yes. Ambassador Adam stepped forward. The Draxian Empire fell long ago. The galaxy is at peace now. Dr. Collins studied her intently, then spoke again. Adam translated. He is asking how long they slept. The ambassador hesitated, then spoke simply. 500,000 years. When Adam translated, shock washed over Dr. Collins's face. He spoke rapidly, his voice growing urgent. He is asking about the others, the rest of humanity, Adam explained. They're still here, still sleeping, Liz said quickly. And they can be awakened once we've established relations between humanity and the Confederation. Dr. Collins visibly relaxed as Adam translated. Around them, more chambers opened. A woman sat up in a nearby one, looking around with the same initial confusion. This is Ambassador Julia Parker, Adam introduced her. She was one of humanity's leading diplomats before the Sanctuary Protocol. Throughout the facility, humans awakened, each experiencing their moment of realization that they had slept for 500,000 years, yet their reactions showed impressive strength. There were tears and many questions, but also determination and even optimism. Over the following days, the awakened humans adapted with remarkable speed. Adam had chosen well. They were flexible and forward-thinking. They learned the Confederation language and studied current galactic politics with impressive efficiency. 1 month after the first revival, a formal ceremony took place on the Guardian. Representatives from all 17 Confederation species attended alongside the 500 awakened humans. Ambassador Parker, now fluent in the Confederation language, stepped forward to address everyone. 100,000 years ago, humanity faced extinction. We chose to retreat from the galaxy rather than vanish completely. Today, we step forward again. We return not as conquerors but as partners. Our knowledge and technology are yours, as we hope your friendship will be ours. As she spoke, Earth appeared in the viewports, blue, green, and beautiful. Small ships were already descending to its surface, carrying humans home for the first time in 500,000 years. The ancient war fleet, built for destruction, had become the guardian of a second chance. Liz watched everything unfold with wonder. Her exploration mission had transformed into something extraordinary, the rebirth of a species everyone had assumed existed only in legends. As more humans awakened in the coming months and years, the galaxy would change forever. Perhaps that was humanity's greatest strength, Liz thought. Not their technology or their warships, but their ability to endure, to wait, and to hope for a better day tomorrow.